Today, we're counting down celebrities whose post-fame comeback attempts didn't quite pan out. To keep things focused, we're skipping athletes this time around. Justin Timberlake. Although he weathered the early 2000s surprisingly well, considering the infamous Super Bowl incident and high-profile relationships, things eventually went south. His recent releases haven't made much impact, and headlines now mention him more for alleged run-ins with the law than for music. Once a pop powerhouse, Timberlake's fan base seems to be tuning out. Shane Dawson. Shane once ruled YouTube with gripping docuseries and conspiracy videos, dominating the platform despite early controversies. However, his partnership with the divisive Jeffree Star reignited scrutiny, unearthing long-ignored issues. Since then, Dawson's apologies haven't brought fans back, and view counts reveal that the audience has mostly moved on. David Hasselhoff. Running Down the Beach made him a global icon, but when Baywatch ended in 2001, Hasselhoff's star faded fast. He attempted a reality show comeback, but it flopped after just 2 episodes. Cameos and musical projects have kept him active, yet nothing has matched the fame of his past work. Mia, credit where it's due. Mia's independent hustle is admirable, but despite her entrepreneurial spirit, launching her own label didn't reignite her music career. Her latest releases have barely registered, and attempts to stir interest with an alter ego failed to capture attention. Sadly, the spotlight has moved on. Farrah Abraham, being part of Teen Mom, gave Farrah some fame, but once MTV phased out the original cast, she struggled to stay relevant. Despite releasing a best-selling memoir and jumping into various reality shows, her efforts didn't stick. Nowadays, her name pops up more in tabloids than in entertainment headlines. Limp Bizkit. Once a dominant force in NU metal, Limp Bizkit inspired countless others, but couldn't evolve with the times. Infighting, stale music, and changing trends made them irrelevant fast. Even their 2011 album Gold Cobra didn't revive interest. Though they still release music, it's met with indifference from both old and new fans. 50 Cent, a 2000s rap legend, 50 Cent couldn't maintain his momentum into the next decade. Weak album sales and a string of lawsuits dampened his influence. A year after his attempted comeback album flopped, he declared bankruptcy. While he's slowly rebuilding his brand, his glory days remain behind him. Kirk Cameron. Once a teen idol, Cameron's career took a nosedive when he prioritized religious projects over mainstream ones. His film Saving Christmas was meant to be a faith-based hit, but is widely considered among the worst movies ever made. Polarizing views and poor reception have kept him out of Hollywood's inner circle. Kanye West. It's almost surreal to see Kanye West drop a new track and receive minimal buzz. Known for pushing boundaries, West went too far with anti-Semitic remarks in 2022, resulting in mass backlash. He lost brand deals, fan support, and credibility. Despite releasing new music, he's unlikely to reclaim his former influence. Chevy Chase. Once a staple of comedy, Chase's career fell apart after too many cinematic duds. He found brief redemption in the sitcom Community, but his unprofessional behavior behind the scenes cut that short. Written off the show mid-series, Chase's last shot at a comeback dissolved as quickly as it arrived. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was once hailed as America's dad thanks to his wholesome image and hit TV shows, but that reputation shattered when over 60 women accused him of misconduct. Awards were stripped, reruns canceled, and his legacy erased. Any hope of a career rebound is long gone. Steven Seagal. Seagal's martial arts stardom didn't shield him from a steep decline. As his box office draw diminished, he shifted to low-budget direct-to-DVD action films. Despite legal troubles and numerous controversies, he continues to churn out content, but it rarely sees the light of mainstream release. Ray J hit his peak in the mid-2000s with a platinum single, but since then, his music has largely flown under the radar. His brief return to attention came through reality TV and a controversial track referencing his past with Kim Kardashian. Recent stints on competition shows didn't help re-establish his career. Denise Richards, a former big-screen beauty and Bond girl, Richards struggled to maintain her early success. Her high-profile marriage and messy divorce with Charlie Sheen kept her in the public eye, but her career shifted to low-budget films and soap operas. She even dipped into reality TV, but the magic of her earlier fame hasn't returned. Ciara. Ciara was once a staple of 2000s R&B, churning out chart toppers and hit albums. But since 2009, her musical momentum has slowed dramatically. Although her personal life with NFL star Russell Wilson keeps her in the limelight, her newer records have failed to match past success. Misha Barton. Misha Barton rose to fame in the early 2000s thanks to her role as Marissa Cooper on The OC, earning her the title of It Girl in 2003 by Entertainment Weekly. The series aired for 4 seasons, but Barton's time on the show ended in season 3 when her character was written off. Since her peak, Barton's attempts to maintain that level of fame have been inconsistent. She appeared in several indie films, joined Dancing with the Stars in 2016, where she exited early, and later transitioned to reality TV, joining The Hills: New Beginnings in 2019. Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea made a historic splash in 2014 when she became the second artist ever to debut with 2 songs in the top 2 spots on the Billboard Hot 100. With hits like Fancy and Problem, she matched a record previously held by the Beatles. However, her follow-up projects didn't fare as well. Her 2019 album In My Defense peaked at a modest number 50, and none of its singles broke into the top 50. Her chart dominance was short-lived, and she struggled to recapture that initial success. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez attempted a major music comeback with her album This Is Me now, but it debuted lower than any of her previous studio albums. The project was designed to be part of a larger multimedia rollout that included a movie and a national tour. While the film did release, the tour was ultimately canceled without much public explanation. Thankfully, Lopez's acting career, especially through Netflix, continues to thrive, offsetting her stalled music trajectory. Ashley Simpson. Ashley Simpson enjoyed a wave of popularity in the mid-2000s with platinum albums Autobiography and I Am Me, and a top 5 hit in Pieces of Me. However, her solo career lost steam after 2008. A single in 2012 failed to chart, and though she formed a duo with her husband Evan Ross in 2018, their joint EP barely made a splash. Even their reality show only lasted 6 episodes before being canceled. Fergie. Fergie was once a dominant force in both solo music and with the Black Eyed Peas. Her 2006 solo album The Duchess went multi-platinum and delivered multiple #1 singles. After a long hiatus, she released Double Duchess in 2017, but it failed to replicate her earlier triumphs. The lead single barely cracked the top 30, and the album's overall performance was underwhelming. Paris Hilton. Although born into wealth, Paris Hilton carved her own niche through reality television and branding. She became a cultural icon in the early 2000s with The Simple Life, but her mainstream visibility has faded. In recent years, she's turned to DJing and brief TV appearances. While her business empire remains strong, her pop culture relevance has significantly declined. Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice skyrocketed to global fame with Ice Ice Baby, becoming the first hip-hop act to top the Billboard Hot 100. However, his career quickly cooled. Later albums received little attention, though he found some success in home renovation television. His 2011 album WTF, Wisdom, Tenacity, and Focus failed to reignite his music career. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl was once a top-tier Hollywood actress known for Grey's Anatomy and romantic comedies like 27 Dresses, but her film roles began to fizzle, and her television efforts post-Grey's didn't fare much better. Shows like State of Affairs and Doubt were canceled early, and although she landed a part in Suits, her popularity hasn't returned to former levels.